Hi everybody. You know, I saw that billboard on a rainy day here in Northeast PA. Pennsylvania likes to run some public health billboards for healthy eating. And I thought to myself, well, can I name 7 berries? Yeah, and of course I can. I'm sure you can too. You guys are pretty smart, I know that. So today I'd like to share with you 9 berries that I'm either growing or have grown in the past. Now, I think one of them, you'll probably be surprised it is a berry. I was surprised. I found that out by accident when I was researching my information to make sure I didn't give you any wrong information. One of them, unless you've been following my blog, you probably don't know you can grow in your garden. And another one you might never have heard of. So let's get started. Blueberries, number 1. That's probably, if not the most common berry, probably the second most common berry grown in backyard gardens. Easy enough to grow. You plant a small bush. It probably looks like a stick when you first get it. Plant it in the spring. It likes very acidic soil. And just keep it trimmed. If you have wood that's the same thing with all berries, the best way to get more is to trim off any wood that's not producing. Blackberries. Also in the picture I showed you was 1 blueberry plant and 3 blackberry plants. Blackberries are easy enough to grow. They grow on canes, but they grow their fruit on the second year's cane. So one year they'll grow a cane, and the next year the fruit will grow on that cane. So you want to trim out those canes that are no longer producing to get more blackberries. And similar to blackberries, raspberries. And there are black raspberries too, and and they're grown the same way. An easy way to tell the difference is that raspberries are hollow. You can see that in the pictures. When you pull a raspberry off the cane, part of the berry stays attached to the cane. That doesn't happen with blackberries. Grapes are very commonly grown. We grew them for years. People would say to me, how do you get your grapes so big? I've never been able to get mine that big. The answer is pruning. Someone asked me, are they hard to grow? I said, no, but they're hard to kill. They're actually easy to grow, very easy to grow. They want to grow. I made the mistake I bought Concord grapes because we wanted to make juice, but I made the mistake of not buying seedless grapes. And as you probably had discovered, the seeds in grapes are very small, and the grapes would not go through my juicer. So I was able to make grape juice by mixing, juice and water in the grapes and letting them soak in there, but out of a quart, you'd end up with maybe a pint of grape juice. So we did, my husband didn't want them there, and what the trellis they were growing on came down, so we did kill them off finally. We pruned them all the way to the ground a couple of years in a row, and they finally stopped coming back. So I'm hoping next spring to put in some nice seedless types of grapes and grow them again. Strawberries. Buy a crown. That's what they're called. Just see the picture of them in the little pot. When you plant them, make sure that the crown on the inside is above ground. And that's all you have to do. There's 2 kinds. There's June bears. If you want to can strawberry jelly, you might want to get all your berries at once. Or you can get ever bears, and they'll bear less of a quantity, but over the whole summer. So either way, I actually planted both. So I made jam in June or July when I had a lot of berries, and then we were still able to enjoy berries all summer. Strawberries reproduce 2 ways. One is the seed is on the outside, so if the seed lands on the ground, it will start another plant, or if a bird gets it, you might find strawberries growing somewhere else. And they also grow by producing runners, which is what the crown is that you first purchased. The next one you may not know is a berry. I didn't know. This is, well, obviously, this is a kiwi. You can see the fuzz on the outside. There's also something called a Hearty Kiwi. And a Hearty Kiwi is actually a berry, which I was unaware of. It tastes very similar to a kiwi, but you can grow them in this cold climate of at least zone 5. You do need to have at least one male and one female in order for the female to reproduce the berries. But easy enough to grow. They need a trellis or something, that another vine, keep it trimmed again, pruned, and they're actually quite beautiful when they're in flower. Here's the one you might not know you can grow. Cranberries. You don't need a bog to grow cranberries. We actually grew ours at the feet of the blueberries because they also like an acidic soil. Those commercials you might have seen where they would be standing in a bog. The commercial growers will flood the fields and the berries float, and that's how they harvest them. That's all that's going on there. You can see from the following pictures that we did pretty well with our cranberries. We don't have them right now, but again, that's another thing that I'm going to be changing. At one point we really downsized, and I downsized more than I wish I had. So blueberries and cranberries are going back into the garden next spring. Number 8 is the Aronia. It's an alternative to acai. Acai berries grow like on tropical palm trees, way up tall, like 80 feet tall. Can't happen here. And here's a little video. This is the Aronia. You can see some berries there. It also looks like it was pretty well decimated by the Japanese beetles this year. But my husband doesn't deal with Japanese beetles, so I'll take care of it next year. Give it some pruning. It's probably 6.5 feet tall, and we've had it a couple of years. The life-berry, it's also known as a goji berry. It's kind of a pepper-shaped red berry, also very good for you. Grows in a bush nature, very prolific. The birds get more of them than we do. We don't really guard our berries. We will be guarding blueberries, but we don't guard some of the other berries that we grow. So the birds get a lot, but they're happy, and it makes us, you know, a nicer property to be feeding the wildlife, as long as they don't touch my tomatoes. These are what's left of the goji berries. It is the first week of August. This is what the birds haven't gotten. You can see there's some down here that are a little fresher that they still have, they haven't shriveled up yet. So that's it. There's 9. What have I missed? What should I be growing that I'm not? What's your favorite berry? What berries do you grow? What would you recommend that we grow? It's August. I have all winter long to go look into putting in some more plants. So please let me know in the comments section. Love to hear from you. Garden on.